Okay, we're live. Great. Let's see if this works. And we'll see if we've got a Facebook stream happening yet. All right. We'll find out if we're, okay, we're live. Okay, great. Sorry, everybody. We're gonna find out how this is working. Hey, we've got someone commenting. Hey, how's it going, Manny? Sorry, everybody. We're gonna find out. Of course, this is what's gonna happen. I have to mute. Sorry. Okay. Let's get this stream going. It's happening. Thank you, Michael. This is the first time I've used StreamYard, so I am a noob at this stuff. I am going to switch on myself in just a moment after I get settled here, and we'll paint some minis today. Let's get this set up. All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining in. We are recording this on YouTube so that we can show it to everybody else who, wants to check this out later. So something I should mention off the top of the stream is that if you are not registered on StreamYard, it may show that I can't see your comments. So it might just say Facebook user, unless you're registered to StreamYard. I think there's instructions on the video. That's okay to me. I don't actually. I'm just going to chat with you. But if I don't recognize your name, that is why, because it doesn't always tell me everyone's name. I'm going to try and watch the Facebook chat and the YouTube chat, and I'm just going to paint dragons. That's mostly what I'm going to do. But the reason why I want the chat open is so that anyone can ask questions if you have a question about the game or just what I'm doing. So I'm painting dragons for the prototype copy of Flamecraft. So you will not need to paint dragons when you get your copy of Flamecraft, which is excellent. I don't like painting. Well, it's not that I don't like painting. I'm not great at the painting of minis yet. So I like it when games give you a color mini. Now that's rare. But that's something that Cardboard Alchemy is all about, is color minis, so that you get your player piece ready to go in a color that's ready to go. Now you can paint it if you'd like and give it a little bit more detail. And we're putting a different base on each one. Like this one's on cobblestone, and there's going to be, for each a dragon type, there's a different base. So you could get into decorating the base or giving the dragon a little bit more emphasis. But what we're going to do is give you the dragons in color to start with, so that you can just open the box and play if you'd like. That's something that I personally like to do. Let me move this out of the way for a second. All right. So let's see. There's a Mission Catastrophe box. Yes, there's Mission Catastrophe. We just got the pre-pressed copy of Mission Catastrophe in. So there is going to be an update very soon on Mission Catastrophe to talk about what went right, what didn't go right. We're actually fixing a lot of things. It's fine, but it looks beautiful. But of course, we're perfectionists, and we have a couple things we want to get absolutely perfect. But that's what it looks like right behind me, Mission Catastrophe, along with random other games, a lot of which I've worked on. So and what we're here to talk about really is we're talking about Flamecraft. Right, this is our next one coming from Cardboard Alchemy. If you're watching the stream, you probably already know that, but we'll have the video for those who have not yet heard about Flamecraft. Flamecraft, just to describe it, is a you're not dealing with the dragons of old. The dragons that would destroy towns, that would come and wreck villages. We are talking about dragons that have been bred by ancient wizards a long time ago to be tiny and helpful and peaceful and your friends, basically. And you are playing a flame crafter, someone who could speak to these dragons, someone who can help these dragons find their ideal home in town. It's a competitive game because you are ultimately competing with the other Flamecrafters to get the most reputation in town, the one who does the best job at finding all of these dragons' homes, of course. And to that end, let me show you these dragons a little bit. What we're going to have in the game is, let's see here. We have these dragons. I'll put that a little bit more. Let's get that in focus. You don't even look at me this whole time. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about these dragons. Now in the game, you'll have, the base game will have a, a token for your dragons, but of course you can upgrade to minis as some of us like to do. Boy, I can't get this guy to focus. I knew he was focusing a little bit ago, so you can see these guys a little bit clearer. Let me see if I can get him in there. Maybe it just wants to, there we go. So these dragons, Sandara Tang is our illustrator, and she's also given modeling orthos to Eric Tosco, who's made these dragons. Now, this is the bread dragon. The bread dragon is the tiniest of all the dragons in town. And actually, though, most of our minis are, in fact, bread dragons. That is because this is the model we had ready first. And when you're making a prototype, you have to do things well in advance. So we've made tons of bread dragons. We're going to talk about the bread dragon model a lot. That's what I'm going to be painting in different colors to put into our prototype, because we have actually 6 different type of we have 6 different artisan dragons in town. Each one has sort of a color and an item represented with it. So I'm going to be taking all the bread dragons and painting them to be the different colors. So when a reviewer gets this copy, they'll all be bread dragons, but they will look different. Okay, we will actually have a red one and a green one and so on. But just to show you what some of the dragons look like that aren't bread dragons, we are slowly getting the other models made. So I want to treat you guys and show you right off the bat. There's another type of dragon here to take a look at. So this is the crystal dragon. We haven't talked about the crystal dragons too much yet because they're coming up to have their heyday in the puzzles and some other things. But the crystal dragons are sort of they're an elite group of dragons. They're a little I'm not gonna say uppity. I don't know. They love what they love. They have like classic dragon names, and they like to be adorned with jewelry. And of course, they make the finest crystal in town. And it's a beautiful, beautiful model. I love this one. It's got quite unique. So something that's going to be not as obvious at first, but you're going to see this when you start to dig into this world that Sandara has made. But each of the dragons has a different way that their horns turn out, and also the way that their wings go. And the crystal dragons are almost a white color. So what we're doing with the mini is just painting is that a little bit, tiny bit of blue, because we are doing blue gems to represent the items that these make in town. But the crystal dragon is it's gorgeous. I love it. So yes, we're working on different dragon types. There will be 7 dragon types, because there's actually also fancy dragons. If you have not seen that we are running a puzzle right now to solve these puzzles to win a fancy dragon mini, it is not going to be normally in the box, but it is something that you could get on the Kickstarter or for free if you solve the puzzle. The fancy dragon is another type. And then I want to show the iron dragon. Now, this has been in a couple pictures, this week we are actually revealing the iron dragon puzzle. I'm just going to get him to focus a little bit here. The iron dragon, come on. Let's get you in there. You don't want to do it. Oh, wait, there we go. So the iron dragon has, they work the forge, and there actually are smithies in town, and they often have actually broken. This is on purpose. They often have like broken horns. They're rough. They're bigger than the bread dragon by quite a bit. They're the biggest dragon in the town. They're meaty. So like, for example, the minis that we're making, so the bread dragon will be a little bit smaller than that guy. Just to show the size. They're all roughly the same size. So like, this will be somebody's choice of player piece, right? Someone already has his name. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun to name each one of these things. Now, the dragons that are gonna be on cards, of course, will all have names. The ones that are your player pieces, you'll have to decide, what you're naming the dragon that you run around town with. So we just don't have all of the types yet, but let me tell you something. When I can show you what the plant dragon looks like, oh my God. The plant dragon is like the cutest running doggo type pose. I just absolutely love it. So we are going to have another stream probably, maybe even at a friendly time for Sandara, where we're going to show more of these models. But the models were done, just to recap, by Eric Tosco. He worked with me before on a game called Dwellings of Eldervale, and he works a lot with Thundergriff games. He is fantastic. He had so much fun making these dragons. I think he actually wants to make life-size versions of these. That's how enthused he was. And someone's asking how many types will be in the game. There are 6 artisan dragon types, and there is one fancy dragon type. Now, that does not include additional dragons, which may appear in some expansions. They're actually... Sandara's got an entire world, so there is the chance that another type of dragon will come into. We'll get into that, but there's a keep, and there might be some more dragons, and there's other things that could come up. So, but today I want to paint some bread dragons, and I want to show you what I'm doing. This is by no means anything expert, because, like I said at the beginning, I don't paint generally, so I apologize to any content creator that gets these and thinks, wow, this is a sloppy job. But I did want to get these cute resin minis into the box because it just shows what we're dealing with here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the amateur hour paint job. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing just for fun, and we'll paint one. And I can answer any other questions that anybody has. So one of the things is I got these resin prints. Now, I don't have a 3D printer, but I did get these from Mike D. Pasquale, who's worked with me before and printed trays for Dwellings, and also some of the minis, just to give us really quick ones. But he did print for Mission Catastrophe as well, some of those minis, so that we could have them available to show, which is so great. So I want to say thanks to Mike again, because this is fantastic to have these at this stage. Normally, you don't have these this early unless you go out and make them, because this comes at the end when you order. For Mission Catastrophe, for example, we just now finally saw the first stage of the minis, but with the ability to print them in resin, we could get a good sense of what they're going to come out like. We chose approximately a 35 millimeter, so they're pretty fun to move around on the table. And the whole point of this mat too is you could kind of still have fun with these dragons. So the resin mini came with a little bit of, there's some parts that I had to sand. So one of the things that I did first is I took, just light sandpaper, and I'm just getting off some of the, when they come off of the resin printer, there's actually some, I have a picture I could probably put up on Facebook where it's like, they have quite a bit of piping and stuff going down there, and Mike is nice enough to remove most of that, but I'm just fixing a couple little, parts of their, just so there's no sharp edge to the wing. And then after that, I then painted them in a white primer, which I got from my friendly local game store. It's a primer made by Citadel, which is the same company that uses all the paints. And this is a spray paint type, so I could get it completely covered and get that paint to stick to these dragons, of course. We do want them to take the paint. That primer is necessary for that. But like I said, I am not an expert, so there are probably people who could give me primer lessons on a future game. But I did a quick primer just so that I could be ready. And then, it comes time to paint. Now, so I have these. Now, there's a lot of different paints. We're using a, like I said, it's Citadel, and it's called, and this is a type that they have, a line that they have called Contrast. This to me feels like the cheaty, the best way to paint minis, because what I think it does is, unlike having to deal with the water to paint ratio, this comes out pretty much just the way you'd want it. And I feel like it leaves a little bit of, it pools and it leaves a little bit of contrast, hence the name, to the way that the minis get painted. So it goes on in almost you can't screw this up kind of a way, right? I mean, I paint, this is like one coat on, let's see if I get this guy. It's like this is like one coat. Now, this is a guy with a broken wing, the poor dragon. But this was, so he was a test. But, you know, it's like contrast paints could not be easier as far as, you know, this is me only painting it one color because that's what we're doing for the game. And so contrast works out really well for this. I don't know if it's the same paint I would use if I was painting multiple colors. You know, I don't know if I would use something where I had to mix paint. Yeah, there's multiple citadels. Someone says I like citadel, but I like base and layer. So clearly there's another way I could go here, which is that I could paint it a base and then paint some more on it. I might get fancier on another game, but here I just want to get these prototypes done and out so we could get content creators a chance to look at these things. So I'm going to paint one today, and I'm going to go over what I've learned about painting them, and I'll continue to answer questions about Flamecraft. What I've discovered from painting these is that some of them are easier than others. They come out, like, for example, the red that I was just showing. The red comes out pretty much the color that I want right when I've done one coat. But if I take the purple, I notice that it's a little, the purple's a little pale. This is our potion dragon right here. Let's see if the potion dragon come in focus. Now again, shh, it's actually a bread dragon. But, you know, we're painting them purple, right? But this is not a very loud purple. This is one coat. And I made the mistake when I first started painting of trying to paint all the coats at once on ones that were too light. Someone's asking what content creators we're reaching out to. I think that we will still have to announce when we've got them all booked up. But we've reached out to quite a few fun ones. We had a great poll the other day. So thank you in advance to everyone who answers our polls and has fun with us and says, oh, this is who I'd like to watch. Some of the people in the top of that poll have made it into our interests, and we've reached out to those. But anyway, I'm talking about the purple here, and I realized this comes out a little bit light for me. So my mistake was I tried to paint all the purple at once, like get it darker, get it darker, get it darker. But what happens if you do that is that, and I'm going to show you an iron dragon where I experimented. If you do all the color at once, like gray is another one that doesn't seem to come out initially. Come on. Does he wants to get in there. There we go. So gray is another one that doesn't quite come out as dark as I want. And when this paint pools, it comes looking like there's some sticky, streaky parts, which, you know, the grand scheme of things, I think, I personally think any content creator that got this little guy, you know, got a dragon, even if he was a little streaky, would be like, oh, this is exciting. As long as I know that's not final, and it'll come out way better than that. But yeah, it's too much paint on these. And so what I realized is my new plan is to do one coat and then let it dry. And then if it's not dark enough, like the gray and the purple are, I'm going to do another coat. Whereas for the red, I'm not positive I need another one for this guy. He just sort of, I mean, I should say he or she. We don't have genders for dragons, but this dragon came out great. And I think the same thing goes for the green. This is one coat. Let's see if I can get the green in there. Come on. You know you want to focus on this guy. Oh, plant dragon. Why you want to be difficult? Because all right, well, you don't want to focus. This one's being difficult. But anyway, I think the green comes out fine as one color. And I also think, well, this isn't the best color red. This isn't the most ideal, but this is one coat for the bread dragon. I think one coat might be okay. We might go one more coat to see if this particular color, is it has a little orange in it, which my friend Chris Strain is watching, who loves orange. So what ends up happening is when it streaks, you get like sort of an orange bit here. And I don't know if one more coat will add that. Well, we could try it. Maybe that's one of the ones I'll paint here with the rest of the stream, because I'm going to paint one from scratch. Let's see. The camera can see my hand. Yeah, I thought I could get it to focus with the hand, right? Come on. It was working earlier where I got it just right. Anyway, this is the bread guy. If I can just get him to focus. He might be okay the way he is. There we go. I'll leave it like that for a little bit. Okay, so this is the bread one. And I said this is one coat. And, you know, he's pretty cute. So I don't know I need to do anything else. But, you know, and it's mostly not streaky because of that one coat. So I might leave it alone. But I might try one more coat on the yellow just to see how it comes out. And again, if I have not mentioned this, this is all just for fun prototyping. I don't know if anyone who's watching wants to comment on what they've painted, but I am such a noob. I am only painting these prototypes because, well, I didn't want them to. I didn't want to send boring stuff to our previewers. So I'm going to take one of these. I think I'm going to do a red one just because I think red is so easy, and then we might try to do a. Well, we might put a second coat on one just to have fun with it. But let's take. I'm using these. I went to my local game store and I also got these ghost. Come on. These ghost paintbrushes. They work pretty well. So ghost number 5. Oops. Yeah, let's get one that's a little bit. I'm not treating the brushes well either. I'm just terrible. I'm a terrible person. This is I need to get this done. We need to make this fun, and we need to make these prototypes look amazing. But I don't know that I care about maintaining paints or pencils or paintbrushes here. But I'll be better. I swear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint now. Do we have any other questions going on? I don't see any more. Hey, we got Scott Rogers in there. I can see some names here. Some names show up. Anyway, so what I'm doing with the paint is I'm brushing a little bit off on a paper plate so that it's not intense. Because the thing is that it, like I said on Citadel, it pools a lot. Let's make this focused in as I go here. Can I do that? Are we going to be, oh, there we go. So like if I see how fast that, it's watery. So the contrast is watery. And I realized you got to go fast a little bit because, and I want to do sections because if I leave a section and it's not done, then that's going to leave a spot that I have to deal with. So right now I'm dealing with the back of the head because I can, it's one whole section and I can kind of deal with it. And then I can run down the back here. And when I start running out of paint on my brush, at least I've covered a whole big swath of this guy. This dragon, male or female, sorry. I also learned really early on that I need gloves because boy, do I see that. So what I could do is I could go under the dragon and get the wing, but I don't see a need to do that right now because what I like to do is when you've got a brand new batch of paint on your brush, that's when it's heaviest. And what I don't want to do, which I learned, is I don't want to take a heavy batch and go right on their face, right? Because if you do that, you're looking for how, this becomes a speed contest at some point. When you start getting streaks and you start running out of paint, you certainly don't want to be like in the middle of a very prominent area like the face. So in order to get the face, I save it. And then what I do sometimes is when I get a big bunch of paint, I will start with an area that I know is not going to be seen. And I'll like let the paint get very watery right there. And then I'm ready to attack sort of a bigger zone when I've got some of the paint off the brush. And like I've said, these aren't perfect. I'm going to get his face. And the thing is that what I've learned about the Citadel contrast is whatever mark you leave there, that mark is on there. So if it looks streaky, you can't really get that paint off unless you remove this paint. So they come exactly. Of course, I'm going in and out of focus. I apologize. I'll see if I can get it in there. It's like I don't want to, I don't want to paint the camera here. But so, in other words, if I leave a little bit of a streak on his eye, this is a fascinating thing about this paint. If I leave a little bit of streak on his eye, then that will stay there. So if I get in there and I actually dab and let it pool in his eye a little bit, it'll actually leave it that way. So I try to remember it is going to dry just the way that it looks. For better or worse, that is the way that it dries. So I don't worry about the base till the end. The base is another area where when I have a big pool, I sometimes run it on the base at first, because that way the base is not the kind of thing that needs to be as good as, I don't want to start with a pool, say, on his cute little paw, because the paw, can get really pooled. Wondering why I was only wearing one glove. Well, I can get it all done with one glove here. Now, again, this is a stream where I'm juggling a lot of things. It's probably going to be even worse than when I'm painting these otherwise. But I realized that there are certain things that are working well in terms of just getting zones here. So right now I'm doing a little bit of the underside, and I'm not worrying about the back legs yet. And now I've gotten to another area where if I get a big pool of paint, I can sort of get this bottom area, and then like where there might be shadow anyway, I'm going to get right under the wing. So it's a little more forgiving under there. So if it's blotchier, that's fine. And like I said, I've learned that I'm only trying to do one coat. So if I feel like this guy comes out light, maybe I will do another coat of red. But they have been coming out pretty nice in the red category. Someone says they're never wearing a glove when they're painting. Now, I have done plenty of painting without the glove, but the other day I was painting the items, because I was doing the iron and the plant. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just a mess. I am getting paint all over the place in my apartment. So I've done it with and without the glove. Today, I'm realizing, no, I want to make sure, in case I paint another one, I'm ready with a couple gloves so I could switch colors and not have, red get over everything. So again, I think, I'm lucky, because doing one color and using Citadel contrast, I have a pretty easy job. It doesn't have to be perfect. My goal is to sort of eliminate the streaks. That's why I'm doing one coat, and it's only one color, so it's not that bad. It's looking, maybe red's not the best choice for a stream. It's looking a little bloody, like this dragon's been through something. And like I said, the streaks and the shine is, potentially looking too streaky because I'm unable to really control the painting while I'm trying to keep it in focus at the same time. So we're going to do another color. We're not going to worry about this particular batch. Maybe the batch that I'm working on right now goes into my prototype set. That's a little less, it's a little sloppier. We'll name this particular dragon after a piece of meat that feels just like this color. The playmat. Someone says they're nervous about the playmat. Yes, we can't let the prototype playmat get any red paint on it. The bottom is pretty fine, and I'm not going to put it down on the playmat just in case. But like I said, this is a bread dragon disguised as a meat dragon. In order to give our content creators a little fun with their copy. And you could add the same fun to your copy when we get to Kickstarter. You'll, of course, have different dragons. The meat dragon in particular, I believe, is standing on their back two legs, ready to serve up as a chef. Cute pose, cute, confident, bold pose. So each dragon will have a different silhouette on the table as well. Like I said earlier, the plant dragon is kind of in motion, running to see you, and I'll bring up the crystal dragon again for anybody who wants to see that, who might have missed it earlier. The Oh, someone's asking if the game will be for 2 to 4. We are actually testing it at 2 to 5. That is what we're hoping to get it singing at 5 as well. By the way, this is the Crystal Dragon color, but of course, to give you a sense of the Crystal Dragon, this is what the Crystal Dragon looks like in form. Let's see, can we get it focused? Come on. Come on, Crystal Dragon. Let's do this. We're going to show more Crystal Dragon art as we go. We had one to name the Crystal Dragon. Actually, I don't know that we put that on our Facebook group. Sandara had it on her feed, which if you haven't checked out Sandara's Instagram, oh my goodness. It is gorgeous. She usually beats us to the art leaks. So if you want to get the ultimate art leaks and you go on either the Art of Sandara Facebook page or the Art of Sandara Instagram page, you will see that she has put Name This Dragon and will leak a shop. And we're sort of following her because backstage we're, of course, developing many shops. And when she feels they're ready, that's when they get posted. So that's the Crystal Dragon in its color and form. I think I showed an Iron Dragon, but let me see where did he go? Where did that Iron Dragon go? Well, I can bring the Iron Dragon out. That's a little bit. Oh yeah, this is the unpainted one. So this is the Iron Dragon. And like I said, we have a Potion Dragon. There's a Plant Dragon. Meat Crystal, and of course, Bread. And Fancy. If you have not tried one of our puzzles, there's a puzzle going on every 2 weeks. This week we launched the Iron Smithy puzzle to go with this type of dragon, and Rich Melina Weber, who is making these for us, helped me make puzzles on Dwellings of Eldervale and also Mission Catastrophe. Rich has a fun background in game theory and also is a designer and loves puzzles. Has been in a book with Mike Selinker doing puzzles as well. And I told Rich that everybody is solving these too easily, so we're going to try and amp up we've got, let's see, what do we have left? We have Potion, we have a Plant puzzle, and we have a Crystal puzzle, and then we have the final finale puzzle, which is a Fancy puzzle, where you have to know all of the answers from the other puzzles to win the ultimate all-in pledge on Flamecraft, which can include possible things like, an art book or plush or whatever we finally put with the game. So we're going to give that away to some lucky winners of the final puzzles. But anyway, let's paint another one. Should we experiment with putting a second coat? We have these. We have the Potion one, so we need to get that a little darker and see how that comes out. Or we'll do a Bread one maybe in a minute. So we'll paint. We can talk about more. Anyone's got more questions? We're gonna have some. Gameplay coming up. As soon as we can get these prototype copies out, we'll film some how to play and things like that, so that we can teach the game. We're also, if you have not joined our Discord server, I will put the link up again in our Facebook group. But our Discord server has several channels dedicated to Flamecraft. We talk about the puzzles. We also share art there. And one of the things the Discord server is going to have is that's where our playtest area is. So if you want to try and get in a game of Flamecraft, either on Tabletop Simulator, which is where it is right now, or we're going to move it to Tabletopia very soon. And then what we're going to look to do is test some of the we have lots of shop ideas, and so we're going to test the core game, but we're also going to test some of those new shop ideas. For example, we have a Kickstarter shop, like an exclusive shop, but it's not a store. It's it's a statue, and you go to that statue and it has powers in the game, so it's really kind of a fun thing. So we'll be testing things like that in our Discord channel. We'll build up a Facebook group that wants to give the game a whirl before it goes on Kickstarter and test it out. And then, of course, if you like it, help us spread the word that it is not only a beautiful game, it is a mechanically very fun. It's a blast to play because you got all these really cool combos that happen when you're playing this game. Each of the dragons has their own ability, and when you put that dragon in a shop, that ability is something that you can access, including there can be up to 3 dragons in a shop, and all of the dragons can fire when they're celebrating when you go there to enchant the shop. So there's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna paint a little purple. This is already this is a potion dragon. Shh, but it's actually a bread dragon because all of the prototype dragons are bread dragons. And what we're gonna do is it's already got 1 coat, and I'm gonna put on a 2nd coat and try not to. I'm gonna go fast. I'm not gonna let it pool too much. I don't want a streaky potion dragon. I want a quick coat of one more. So this one I'm deliberately going fast just to try and put a tiny bit more paint on it, just to get a little darker purple. But I don't want a glossy pool. I don't want like a sticky looking final. I want like just a tiny bit more color. Now this is something that if I was a more experienced painter, if I actually did this more often, if I knew what the heck I was doing, this would be better. But like I said, this is just for fun. This is me trying to make it so the prototypes look really neat and showcase what we could have. And again, I will say that these were modeled by Eric Tosco. The Sandara did orthos of what she wanted the pose to be, and the resin copies of these were printed by Mike DePasquale on his printer. He's actually printing me a batch of the ones that I can't show yet, like the plant dragon and the meat dragon and so forth. And I will do another one of these streams where we show what all of the different mini types look, and we'll of course render out some really fun poses to share, because we need help. If you think these dragons are cute, we need your help telling everybody you know that these are so cute and that they cannot miss this. They cannot miss this Kickstarter, right? Right. I mean, a dragon for everyone is what we're saying. Everybody gets a dragon. Everybody gets 6 if you want them, and then or 7 if you'd like to play our puzzles and win one more. See, the thing that's interesting about this paint is, like, I'm on the leg right now, and once it's decided not to take paint in an area, it's hard to actually get it to pool and stay there. Like, this leg wants to stay white, so I'm not going to worry about it. Early on, I was trying to like solve that by putting more and more and more and more paint, but that just doesn't work. It's never going to get. If it doesn't want to take in an area, then it doesn't want to take. That's why I think could be the way that I sprayed the primer. It could be the way that this paint just likes to bunch up and pool on itself. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just trying to get a little bit more color on the potion purple. So we gotta represent for the players who want to play a purple. I don't know if anybody wants to say what their favorite color is. Oh, thanks for someone. Manny says I'm doing a great job getting the word out. We're hitting all these different channels, but we're of course going to turn it up a notch because the Kickstarter is in 55 days, and let me tell you, every day counts. We are going to shout out this thing. We are going to try and tell your friends. This is unofficial news here, but I'm going to try and give away plush in the Facebook group. You know what? I want to have a fun time. I love the fact that everybody wants to come along, and there's more fun things to give away. Let me tell you. There's the possibility that one of the things that Cardboard Alchemy always does is we do coasters. So if you look at Mission Catastrophe, we had a robot coaster, and then before that, we did our introductory campaign. We introduced a horror, an action, and a sci-fi coaster. And Flamecraft is going to be no different. There is going to be a coaster for Flamecraft. Now, if you are a previous backer of ours, you'll get that coaster for free, and you can get the coaster on the campaign as well. But we will probably have an email where we will also give away the coaster just for fun and share it. So if you want to be in on that, you want to get in our email list, because we are going to do something with the coaster there. And we're going to, on our newsletter, we also talk about all the contests. We often run a YouTube contest. We just finished one to give away copies of Letter Tycoon, and all of the contests we ever do are signed copies by the designer. So on Letter Tycoon, we have signed copies from Brad Brooks on Letter Tycoon. But before that, we did a signed copy of Role Player, a signed copy of Space Base. And I can tell you the next one coming up is we're actually getting the scoop on a game. It has not even released yet. But we are going to do, I can say it here first, we're going to do a signed copy of Art Deco, a new game coming from, it's Tate Wu's design, if anyone's ever played Promenade. It is the re-implementation of Promenade by Rio Grande Games. And on our YouTube channel, if you subscribe and you comment on that video, you could win a signed copy of Art Deco. Now that's going to be coming in this month. I'm going to post that contest. So what I'm trying to tell you is that Cardboard Alchemy is here to give away fun stuff, because that's what we like to do. We like to make fun games. We like to give away fun stuff. I hope you don't mind that we like to do that. If you want to get in, our newsletter, our Discord, and our YouTube channel all have different ways you can kind of win stuff at different times. We're actually going to give something away soon in the Discord for being over 500 members, which is fantastic over there. And of course, we'll offer something great to the playtesters who help us playtest Mission Catastrophe or Flamecraft or the next one, which I can't talk about yet. But of course, we will soon announce a really, really big game we have coming. Anyway, that's just to say that there's lots of ways to win here. Now, I'm going to let this guy dry. I just tried to put another coat on him. This is one that I did a little bit earlier. Like I'm trying to just make sure that the purple comes out a little bit more. You know, there's purple on our logo. I'm wearing a purple Cardboard Alchemy shirt, so we care a lot about potions. So the potion dragons have to come out fun, right? He's a little streaky, this one, so I'm gonna keep working on it. Let's do another. Well, maybe I'll add to the bread dragon since we still have time. We still have 15 minutes left. Thank you from Mike saying, "Play this game, it's so much fun." We did have a playtest already with a couple people who have tried it, are helping us work out some of the shops that are with really weird powers. Because there's the base game where they have where the shops have certain powers, and then there's the wilder and crazier stuff, which, like any engine builder, if you've played Wingspan, some combos are. I haven't really played a lot of the expansions to Wingspan, but I know that some of the combos that they thought maybe these are too much for the base game, they're starting to throw in those expansions. That's what we're going to do too, so that you don't have to absorb all of the Flamecraft combos at once, but there are some really fun ones. So this one is this is a true bread dragon. You know, it's already yellow. But I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. This is the contrast. Yeah, it's got a little orange in there. Like I said, I went to my local game store in Los Angeles, Burbank, which is Geeky Teas. Now, Geeky Teas are so good to us. And they happen to have, they're expanding the line of paints, so they happen to have these contrast paints, and I'm trying it out. I'm actually running an event at Geeky Teas on Saturday, which is a designer event, because what we like to do in our community is get other designers a chance to show their games and get a table. So basically you sign up for a table, and then you get to test your game and, you know, get players who are ready to go and ready to test anything. So we got a lot of fun going there. And we're going to show Flamecraft there. Actually, this will be the first time the prototype gets to go anywhere, because we've been playing it on Tabletop Simulator all this time. So now I'm just going to do another coat just to see if a little bit more, you know, yellow pops this dragon. Get stuck. I like the horns to be like the most concentrated color. Like I let those. I don't know. I mean, someday someone will paint these and have like a whole theory about the scale should be a certain way and the wings should be another way. And I mean, Sandara will probably chime in with her preferences, because if you look at Sandara's art, this is by no means doing any justice to the way that she colors the dragons. But for the game, one color is all we need for the prototype. Again, we don't even need to do one color for the prototype, but who wants to, we want to, the same reason why I'm making, painting bread and painting meat is because I want the prototypes set. I want the content creators to have a fun time. Also, we're putting, it's like we have coins in the game, but we're putting, gold coins in the prototype too, because you gotta go for the deluxe. This bread dragon's getting a little bit more orangey, which I like it. I like it. It's working out. Just want to make sure it doesn't streak on any parts of his or her face. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit more. It's hard to tell on these streams, Thank you. Manny says, I had a lot of fun in the Mission Catastrophe campaign, and I think the Flamecraft will be an awesome campaign. Oh, someone's saying I should. Thank you, by the way, Manny, for saying that. We like to have a lot of fun in our campaigns. So I will tell you that Flamecraft is no different. We have surprises. We have awesome social stretch goals and regular funding stretch goals. We even have, it's funny, we've been joking around with Sandara, who's having a blast, saying, Sandara, will you do this or this? And then Sandara said, maybe if we go high enough on the Kickstarter, so you know what your job is to make Sandara want to release everything, every dragon thing in the world. Chris is orange for the win. Yes, we're going to keep painting this dragon, Chris, until it becomes orange. How's that? We could get the red out here. Someone said, Timothy said, dunk it in Army Painter's Quick Shade. Maybe I'll have to try that for the next one. I'm still experimenting. And of course, I am just trying to get these out to content creators so they can have cute dragons. But I will experiment with the next round, possibly, of doing some advanced painting techniques. One thing that we did on our Mission Catastrophe campaign, which I don't know, we haven't talked to Vernon yet, is we did a prize on Mission Catastrophe where we offered Vernon Piper, who's an amazing painter with the Dice Tower, is doing a set of Mission Catastrophe minis, like all decked out. And we're talking like with the whole, cool sci-fi look. And he's doing that for two folks that won in one of the Kickstarter contests we had. So I will talk to Vernon and see if Vernon likes dragons, which Vernon might. Vernon was involved with Dwellings of Eldervale, and where we did have a couple dragons there too. So this is the bread dragon, getting a little bit more orange. Chris Strain, by the way, since I mentioned him in the comments, and I am good friends with Chris, is the designer of Asking for Troubles. And if you know Asking for Troubles, it is the most orange game and the best orange game that there is out there. This little guy stuck to me there. The original design of Asking for Troubles was almost a graphic design experiment, if I could say this. Chris was thinking, can I make a game that's only one color? Just one color, the entire game, crystals that are orange, carrots that are orange, the whole board that's orange. Now, the answer from Kickstarter was enthusiastically, no, you need another color there. But it was a very fun experiment. And actually, I think for the better, it gained, a couple blues for space, But it's super fun. Asking for Troubles is one of the worker placement games that's inspired us. This particular game is a little bit like worker placement. We're calling it dragon placement because you do have one worker, which is essentially this character, which will go around town. And one of the things that Asking for Troubles has is it has a bumping mechanism, which is seen also in Jamie Stegmaier's Euphoria. That allows a worker placement game not to get too tight on spots. Like, for example, you can make a worker placement game where once somebody is in a spot, you cannot go there. In In Flamecraft, we are not going to have, so that's something that's too restrictive, I think, especially too for people who are just getting into worker placement and may want a little bit of that breathing room. In Flamecraft, you're never blocked from going to a shop. If there is someone else there, you do have to pay them a resource, which is a fun way of deciding, do you really want to go get a donut? Because if you go to the donut shop, you may have to pay a crystal or an iron or a plant to actually go eat that donut. So, but it's really fun because you have that choice, and then that can actually lead to bunches of people in the same shop or not. So it adds this nice texture where you probably want to try and find a new shop, but you don't have to. So I'm going to take this bread dragon and clear him from my hand, and we're going to put out some of the other. We only have a couple more minutes to go, so I'm going to put out some of these other. There's the plant one. Granted, this is the plant one's a first coat. This is a meat dragon that's a first coat. I don't know if these are going to focus. Here's our slightly more painted potion. Here's what a crystal at the. Let me get this unpainted guy out of there. We have a slightly more painted iron dragon. I think the iron dragons we're going to get a little bit more paint on there, and of course, missing a bread dragon. Well, we're missing a fancy dragon, really, but I don't have one of those painted. I need to get some pink dragons painted stat. These will, of course, be in the design of the dragons. This is, of course, also a deluxe add-on. I should mention that the game will come with tokens that are dragons and feature Sandara's cute artwork, but these are the upgrades if you'd like to actually make it so that you're just, playing with a dragon and running the dragon around town. And as I said, Cardboard Alchemy believes in you getting color dragons, color minis as you go. So none of that gray mini stuff for our backers. And I appreciate all of the support in that endeavor, because we're going to change this industry to say, you know what, gray is boring. We want to have fun with colors. I actually love making games that feature amazing art. So I am so thankful. Brad and I are both super thankful to work with Sandara Tang on this one, and also Manny Vega as our designer, because Manny makes super fun games. Sandara illustrates the most amazing worlds. We're super lucky to make this game with them and all our collaborators, and we have a lot more to share. If we have 55 days to the Kickstarter, not like I'm counting or anything, but we have a lot to do. We have a lot to share. We have a lot to get out there. Someone's asking, will you show pledge options before the campaign? Absolutely, we're going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're trying to keep everyone who is interested in Flamecraft along for the ride and contributing. And what we want to do is get the page up there as early as we can, a couple weeks ahead if we can pull it off, to get everyone's feedback on what they like and don't like and what they want to see happen, what we have not put in there yet, because we're going to try and cram the campaign with all of the most awesome merch and fun things you could ever want for a game about dragons. And everyone can say, oh, wait, well, we forgot the, we're not going to forget the art book, but if we did, you could tell us about that. And we also want to hear from you about, when we start showing gameplay, what you have questions about, what you want to know more about. And we need your help to spread the word. Let me go over here for a second. We're just going to show some art for the last little bit of our thing here, because we have some shops. Now, you've already probably seen these, but we'll show some shops while we talk out the end here. So we're going to need as much help as possible spreading the word before Kickstarter. So when we put out our Kickstarter trailer, when we put out shop art or dragon art or pieces of, even if it's production samples, we need your help to shout it out. Tell your friends. They do not want to miss this campaign. This is going to be so much fun. It's the perfect weight game, I think, for any game group. If you're just learning games, I think you can come in really easy with the theme and figure it out. The first starter shops are very easy to play, and then you can add that complexity and go for super combos that you're looking for the best combo among all the players to pull off, of course, the most reputation in the town. So we're going to need your help to share it let's go for another one. It's the bakery. If you've seen all of these, right? We are often showing these in the Facebook group, but they don't get that full screen sometimes. This is the opening plant shop, the nursery, and we also have the smithy that we just revealed this week as we're doing this puzzle that's related to the Iron Dragons. I love this one. This one to me is like looking at a Studio Ghibli snapshot. I don't know if Sandara likes when I say that, because she's of course a brilliant artist of her own, and someday someone will say this reminds me of a Sandara Tang studio production. But I love the color and the world that you can get a little taste of behind the Smith. So this one truly blows me away. But of course, as Manny and Brad and I say every time we see another one of these pieces of art from Sandara, they all, like, as you see each one, because there's some ones we haven't showed you yet, like there's a buffet and there's a dragon roost and there's a bank, and so when you see some of these shops, like each one makes you go, oh, that's my new favorite, right? This one, which is we have the crystal shop. With a very bookkeeping crystal dragon keeping track of all the glass that's been sold, and then the meat shop. I love the meat shop ones. I mean, might just be a sucker for a good piece of fish or steak or something. But someone says, I love that the dragon is lefty. That's funny. I did not notice that before, but yeah, Sandara's got lots of fun things going on with these dragons. Let's show the potion shop again, which is fun because if you look in the cover art, the potion shop actually features a potion which is our logo, which is pretty neat. It's really sweet that Sandara did that for the cover and got cardboard alchemy in there. Oh, you know what I should do? Because we're about to end this stream. We've been painting and so forth. I just do a sneak peek of the shop that we haven't shown, right? I mean, that way everyone who's stayed around to watch the stream can say, I saw something at the end. So I'm going to do that. Let's take this down and let's put up the bazaar. There's a shop that we have not shown, and this is from a potential expansion called the Festival. So that's a fancy dragon. Fancy dragons have no actual flame that they command, but they certainly know how to make pretty colors, and they have their own magic to them. In the game, fancy dragons are responsible for your hidden end goal conditions. So the more you befriend fancy dragons, the more stuff you could be up to in town, and that's a fun way to play. So sometimes you can go for that strategy and just try and get a lot of fun sort of quest type things to do. So at the end of the game, you say, well, I have a fancy dragon that does this and this and this, and they're all named, they're all cute, and they're a lot of fun. So this is a special sneak peek at the bazaar. And then we will go back to our regular stream here. As we end it, I want to just say thanks for watching. I'm not an expert streamer, but I did want to have fun and introduce myself. I do more of these regularly if people are interested. And we will have some more things to share as we get closer to Kickstarter. So thank you for watching Flamecraft Minis Painting. And what we'll do now is, let's switch this up so I can. All right. Okay, I think that's about it. Of course, I'm around in the Facebook group. If you have any questions all about the game, if you want to try the game, we've certainly mentioned a lot of things in this stream about how to get more into this game. You can come on our Discord. You can join our YouTube for things to win over there. Also catch the stream as it'll be up over there. And most of you are probably watching this in our Facebook group. Thank you for being in our Facebook group. Continue to engage, ask questions, and chat with us. We're happy to share and talk with you. And so Chris Strain says daily streams. I don't think that's going to happen, considering how much of a rookie I am at this. But I will tell you what, I will probably make some kind of a regular stream. I would also like to in the future get some. Sandara said that she might do a little bit of a process And we can do an Ask Sandara questions, and we can do a little bit more of asking Manny about the gameplay. So we'll do these kind of things for fun, just to keep in touch. All right, that's it, everybody, for now. But enjoy your day. Game on. Hope everybody has a good one, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.